Welcome back to my channel, everyone. Today we are at another curated home decor store, and this one I am so beyond excited to share with you guys because it is one of my favorites. This is where I bought my desk. If you saw my apartment tour, you would have seen my very old, very beautiful, it's like a French old work table. I bought it here. I have bought some of my clay pots here, and I have brought you guys here quite a few times. They actually let me come in on a day that they're closed so that we could walk through the store and really show you all the items that they have and just how beautifully curated this store is. My favorite part about this store is that it has so much old mixed with new, but it's very elevated and so sophisticated, and a store that I truly admire. So I'm just gonna stop talking. Let's see what's new at Willows. As you walk in, this is what you're greeted with. Look at those doors. They are absolutely, it's like a whole thing. You have the door, you have the windows. It just is a showstopper. That was the first thing I noticed when I walked in, and it's actually been a little while since I've been at Willows, so it's really cool to be back and see all of the new things and all the changes that they've made to the store, all of the new home decor books I've noticed, and just so many good things, you guys. I'm freaking out. I did already do a slight little walkthrough. This book is Rose Tarlow, which is one of my #1 interior designers that I admire. Her eye for decor is unreal. And then look at these. These are so beautiful. I think these are handmade. Absolutely stunning. And one of my favorite things about Willows is they reimagine so many different things. I'll show you throughout the store. Different ways to use different items, and I just, oh my gosh, I was just telling Billy, who's here with me right now, that their brain just, I admire their whole brain on how they design. But they have so many of the milk stools, the vintage milk stools, vintage rugs. I mean, just so many different things. Also, they have candles and apparel. So if you are looking for clothes as well, they have like a really refined selection here. One of my favorite things about their store is their eye for just old French and European tables and baskets, and well, you'll see they have so many different things, but like I said, they mix it in with newer pieces like this boucle couch right here. And then they have amazing textiles. Also, this new 4-post bed is new from the last time I was here, and I have been just really eyeing 4-post beds for a future home. I just feel like they feel so elevated and just absolutely, I don't know, they feel elevated. These vintage lamps, oh, these are so good. I actually really love the mini little bulb in there. And as I mentioned, this is what I call a more curated home decor store. So they go out and they do all the hard work for you. So everything is very refined and intentional and perfectly selected to blend together. So it's really easy to come in here and imagine, especially if this is your style, imagine these items in your home. But they just have the most amazing eye. And Billy was just telling me about these blankets here. These are really good for like summertime. They're super lightweight, but I also really love that they have like this, do you see if I pull that away? Like, it's just this very sheer cover over the printed layer. I thought that was so cool and like nothing I've seen before. These are beautiful. I also love these vintage mirrors right here. Oh, those are so good. I love gold mixed with like black iron, and then you have the linen. And these pillows are huge, which I love for a bed. I think that that's amazing. They have, my ticking stripe that I love right now. So like I said, it's super easy to really get lost in this store and imagine these items in your home, and they just do it in such a beautiful way. Also right now they have beautiful art pieces, framed vintage prints. We have a sketch up here. Looks like a thinking man. So good. Also, if you're in need of gifts, like I said, they have candles, they have hand lotions, they have little trinket dishes, they have so many different things. But I did spot one of those stone pans or like trays. These are so good. I have 2 of these. I love them. I like to make charcuterie boards on these. I like to, you could put like a little cake on here. You could do so many different things with this, and also use it as a tray on your coffee table. I love versatile pieces like this that you can use for multiple different things. It just makes the investment feel more worth it. And they have quite a few different stones and marble pieces. There's some over here as well. Like these marble, what do you call these? Just like little slabs. These you could put on like a kitchen island, like if you had like a vintage wood kitchen island, things like that, and then, you know, chop your food on here, make your cocktails. So versatile. Okay, also Billy was just telling me that you could do these or use these as tabletops. They've made bases for these and then use the tops, whether that was iron or whatever the weight can hold. So that's also a really good idea. A marble pastry slab, that's what it's called when they put these on like an old wood island or wood piece. It doesn't even have to be an island, but you want to protect the wood, and you can do all of your, you know, rolling out your doughs and different things right on these boards, which I think is really beautiful, just to add that layer and add a little bit more interest to the piece and to the area. And then right behind me is where they have all of their different textiles. And this is actually has always been one of my favorite little areas in Willows, because they have the best textiles. I mean, just such good selections. And like I said, everything here is so refined, and they pick out every single piece. It's a small business, so they are really hands-on with everything that they choose, and you can really tell, especially in their textiles. Behind the textiles, they have just an area that has lots of different little gift ideas. I love to peek through here because you never know, you know, what you might want these gifts for, or you look over here and they have just different stuff all the time. Like they have this little lip balm, and then I think these are little soaps. Look how cute those are. Those are so sweet. Then they have candles and body wash. They have like the French olive oil candles, or not candles, excuse me, soap back here. I love little stores like this because I feel like they have just such unique little gifts instead of, you know, going to your big box store and getting something super generic. This feels a little bit more special. So I love to look through the things, and it smells incredible right here. This marble table is another piece I saw immediately when I walked in. I have been eyeing these for a while. There's something about marble and iron, the different materials mixed together just really speak to me. This one's really cool because it's a lot smaller. When I have seen these in the past, they're usually a lot bigger, more like a console table, but this could be used as a side table, a little mini bar in like a living room. I think would be really pretty. Put a little tray on here with a few bottles of liquor, some beautiful cut crystal. I mean, you could just really dress this up. You can also dress it down, but this is a piece that just took my breath away when I walked in. It's super old. You can just see the history on it. It's just so beautiful. I love this piece so much. Also really love, they always have the couches made up so you can see kind of how to lay out your pillows. They also have their beds usually all made up, which is really nice because you can get inspiration. And that's my favorite thing. I mentioned this in some of my past videos, is coming into these stores for inspiration. You never know what you're gonna find, and like if you find a special piece or that perfect duvet that you've been looking for. Bev makes these pillows, or makes some of them, or does she make all of them?
We make the majority. So like, actually we didn't make a lot of these. Bev made this.
Made that
and
one.
Did all of these little stars.
Oh, amazing.
A lot of our bedding, as far as like our Euros go, and sleeping pillows, those we bring in already made. Like this is from Mateo bedding out of LA. This is from Pom Pom. So we do a pretty curated selection of
pillows.
Yeah, when we branch out from making our own pillows, we only work with about maybe 4 or 5 really.
You're picky.
Companies, yeah.
I think that's good. I love these.
Those are super popular for us. They've been great. They're a really good way to kind of make your bed. Some people don't like lots of pieces.
Yeah.
And lots of pillows and layers. This is a good way to kind of, you know, get some of that bulk in there. Like if you want your bed to look more full and lush, but it keeps it not quite as feminine.
Yeah.
Some of the other accent pillows we have.
I like them, and mixed with the ticking
act
string.
as a nice headboard buffer too.
Yes.
A lot of times too, we'll actually style the sleeping pillow behind, and you can just put 2 big pillows up front, maybe a lumbar, and just keep it more minimal.
I love those. Are so good.
A lot of these, they come in the flax, the white, and a charcoal.
Oh, I love these. These are absolutely amazing.
And they're sold with their insert.
These look really old.
Those came out of a hotel in Czechoslovakia.
Really?
Old Czech glass, but from a hotel, so he had tons of them in the collection.
Wow. See, I love that you have all this knowledge.
Local, well, she lives here part-time. Aileen Lindman is her name. She's back on the East Coast now for the summer, but we brought in some of her pieces this year, and they've been really popular. We've sold several so far, but I love the size and the interest and the abstraction. She does a lot of, you could see like layering, and they're very imaginative, but even for being so small, I think that works to their benefit. They draw you in. They can stand on their own, or you can do them as a collection.
Yeah, those are really cool.
And kind of intermix them with other art and photography. Like, they're not too much of one thing.
True, yeah, they are really, I like that they're a little bit more like muted. It makes it feel approachable.
Yeah.
I like those. What did you call these tables again?
They're called demi-loons.
Demi-loons.
Just means half moon.
Half moon.
Demi-loon tables. Yeah.
Demi-loon. And they're just so good. So as we were talking earlier, normally they come a little bit more dainty, but these ones are so full of character and so many different shapes. And you were saying you could potentially put them, there's another one on the other side, but put them together.
Yeah, put them back together, depending on the space that you're wanting to put them in. These are actually Italian roof tiles from like a greenhouse.
What?
So all these little grooves was how they would hook into each other like a regular stone roof tile, but it was glass because it was a greenhouse.
Oh, that's so cool.
And I think they just are a really cool way to like add a layer and have a tray. It can be a catch-all. It's just glass. I mean, this could be a cheese board. Like,
yeah,
thinking outside the box with
antiques
and how to display them, and more importantly, how to use them. I think a lot of people are hesitant to buy antiques because they don't just want to feel like, oh, I have all these things and I don't use them. Like, everything's
and like,
just
what do
for
I
looking.
what do I do with it?
There's a lot of things that you could do with this, and you can move it around. Great on your coffee table, end table. Use it as a tray for
so smart.
A little cheese board, anything like that. But it's fun when you have pieces that have history and reimagining them and actually using them day to day.
No one else is going to have, very few. If they,
we only got like 6 of them. So that's
so 6
only
people.
6 of your friends may have this tray, and that's it.
Yeah, I love that idea.
Another fun thing we did here to reimagine. So we got these great candles, all different size pillar candles, really thin tapers, to the really big bulk candles over there. We'll show them to you. But another way to reimagine, or if you want to bring in something really unique, and I think they were hinges. Just see, I mean, they're just metal holders. You can see where there's the old screws and a catch on it. So I'd have to, not exactly even sure what they were before, but clearly not a candle holder.
Yeah.
But what a beautiful line and silhouette, and if you
this
great stack of books on your coffee table. Just having a piece like this that you can pop a candle in and
so smart. I love
have
that.
Something, again, totally unique and rethinking old pieces.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we like to do.
I love it.
That's the fun of it.
Yeah. This table is one of my favorites in the store right now. We were just talking about whenever you're finding a piece that's old like this, and maybe it's not, if you want to bring it to date, to kind of your lifestyle. Billy was just saying you could cut off this, what do you call this part of it?
So those are stretchers.
Oh, stretchers.
They're stretchers. And you can see there's ones running this way and between the legs here.
Oh yeah, right here.
If it's, it's personal preference, I don't mind them here. I think you could still put a really cool chair up to it. You could still sit at it like a table, but it could get a little tedious, or especially if you had younger kids. I think I would take these, cut them, and reconnect them to there, and you've solved that problem, and you've kept the integrity and the look of the table.
And you could still do them
a minimal change.
Yes, and you can still do them side by side, like right next to each other in the middle, which I think
put them close and just have a narrow opening.
Yeah.
And now you have a dining table that's functional on all sides.
Yes, this is so beautiful. You said this is old Spanish.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's like in this honey tone. Oh, it's just absolutely stunning. I love this table so much. This is Billy. I asked him if I could show his face, but he's showing, this is a Ralph Lauren textile.
So, it's 3 yards. Probably do some great ottoman with it.
Ooh, yeah.
Like that. But oftentimes I'll use the term Southwest. And this is what I mean by Southwest. More of a vintage, early American look.
Yeah.
Warmer tones, clean lines.
We were just talking about
something timeless. These colors and a stripe.
Yes.
They're not going to do you wrong.
And then will you show that lamp again as another example?
It's different eras, yeah. And I think the terms can often get conflated, or when a new style comes in, you reject the old. So if anybody, like Tuscan, for example, very in, but now very out.
Yeah.
So you can kind of get hung up on certain terms or eras or definitions, but this is another example of what I might say Southwest, bringing in that element.
Yeah.
This is an arts and crafts era lamp, probably 1930s. Really beautiful, great color. It's like an old brass or bronze base with a little bit of the detail in the shade. I think is really charming.
I love
that's Southwest to me, not
Yeah.
fiesta wear, Southwest, or you know, the really saturated colors, and sometimes that can look great. Ralph Lauren's doing it now.
Yeah.
They have a new designer in who's doing very much bold, color forward. You know?
Yes, but it all just depends on like the overall look. Like,
Yeah.
like this is a great example because
Yeah.
if you said Southwest to me, I would have never picked out that. I wouldn't have
Yeah.
known that this
'Cause it
lamp.
is definitely what's coming back. Warmer tones, browns, beiges, like bringing in those accent pieces. I'm doing less kind of metallic accents, and I'd rather bring in a warmer patina, kind of like the candle holder I showed
Yeah.
you. A lamp like this.
This patina is
A lot of this old cut glass. These are my favorite lights in here. They're old American factory lights.
so cool.
Super unique, super heavy, solid glass, like that you, and they're rewired. They're ready to go for your kitchen island.
Yeah,
You
those
know, a
would
pair
be
like that.
so
We
cool.
installed one in a client's, actually in a bathroom
Ooh.
that had really high ceilings, really beautiful guest bath. Beautiful warm glow to the whole thing. It's really, those
Yeah.
are my favorite. But
They almost like sparkle
Mhm.
seams. This
But I like
sort
a
of
lot
glass.
of those glass accents versus trying to bring in something too metal. I love these because if you had it in a kitchen or a bath and they're just regular glass, like they're not this pleated, thicker glass, shows dust, grease, things like
Oh,
that.
this probably
Think
hides
about like
it.
the lights in your bathroom or your, you know, your
Yes.
kitchen.
Oh,
They get a
The
film
glass.
on them. Yeah.
But-
Something like this helps diffuse that. Even if it's there,
Smart.
it's not right in your face.
see, and I wouldn't think of that, but now that you say it, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Ah, so good. Have to show the vintage art pieces because I do a little painting myself and I collect a little bit. I don't have a ton of room, but you have quite a few pieces. You have old easels in here and
There's more in those cabinets too.
oh my gosh, I love.
This, so the brushes didn't come with it. I found they're very hard to find, and I'm sorry to tell you all, but the brushes are not for sale because they're so difficult to find. I found somebody who was selling about 50 of them. I bought all of them, and we love decorating with it. We have a great local artist, a painter, Lee Hazelton, so I love to accent. We'll find old, the easels, putting her art on it and accenting with some of the brushes is really good. It just kind of brings it to life for people and helps them visualize how they may style it in their home. You don't have to just hang it on a wall.
Yeah.
But I love these old painter's easel. This is all old
Paint.
French. It's all marked Paris. It's super cool. It's just as is, kind of, you know.
I love
It's
it.
gritty. I wouldn't open any of these. Who knows what's
Yeah.
in them, right? But I mean, this old palette.
Oh my gosh, how cool.
Yeah.
I always get so intrigued by the story. Like someone was like painting a picture, like someone was squeezing the paint out of these tubes, painting a photo, going through daily life. Like
Clearly closed it up one day and
that was it.
never opened it again, and then we find it.
I love
I mean, I'd have to research some of these labels to see how old they really are, but I mean, it's definitely at least World War II era, if not
Wow.
earlier, just looking at the labels and how old a lot of the markings on the bottles are. They have to be, you know, early 20th century. Really, really unique.
so cool. Oh.
So hard to find, but also like they were
Oh,
in such beautiful
stop.
condition.
Yeah.
And the palettes here.
Oh my
And
gosh.
these old long hair brushes, all different shapes and points. And
You could even, like, you know how you decorate with calligraphy brushes on like a coffee
Oh,
table or what?
absolutely.
Like so
Yeah.
many different ways.
I love how they look in that in those brass lassie cups. You get a mixed metal, kind of muted, but
And it like kind of dresses up an otherwise like kind of dull old paintbrush.
yeah.
It's like has some sparkle to it.
I love these cups too. They're also really versatile. People use them for their wood spoons in their kitchen, pens and pencils on their desk, makeup brushes.
Oh, makeup
Really
brushes.
fun kind of accents, but pairing them against the old earthy brushes.
Yeah, so smart. I love that. That's given me so much inspo.
this table and these stones. These are old lithography stones.
Ooh.
So they were used for transferware and like porcelain and other things like that. Some of the patterns have worn off, but we have some more on the table here that
that you're
are great little sizes. I have one. You can see this old scene of like a house on a lake.
Wow.
There's an old faded, it's like the face of like a young, maybe like a cherub, you know, or a young boy printed on there.
That is...
These are mostly all like early to mid 20th century German. They're super unique to me. I love that. I have a big one next to like my bathroom sink. Bev has a cool one, you know, in her kitchen.
What do you use them as?
I think it's just
little
a great
trays?
layer. Yeah, like I wouldn't, not for food, but just to layer in your presentation of, you know, like I have one next to my sink. It has a bunch of cool cologne bottles on it, like a soap dish. Like, but it just is a cool way to bring in a layer and bring in something really eye-catching.
Yeah, and I love the...
And they're neutral. They, you know, you can put them with anything. They're solid.
Are they heavy?
Oh, I've moved them multiple times. Oh yeah, they're really heavy, but I love that. That's what gives its integrity, and it's how you know it's the real deal.
Yeah.
It's solid. We like things
heavy,
expensive and heavy.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a hernia. This is another great example of when I say Southwest, bringing in just, I love this warm leather. It's a little thing. It's a footstool, you know, but bringing it in with your maybe more contemporary pieces, it warms it up. It makes it interesting.
Yeah.
And it's something that someone else isn't going to have. I think it's cool to, especially out here, it's hard to have access to older antique pieces, and to kind of have a more curated, collected home.
Yeah.
Even if you're not a big traveler or
True.
You know, a big shopper,
yeah,
I think you should bring those into your home. It's something I personally like to bring in those elements and kind of help my clients' home look more like
storied
or traveler, right?
Yeah,
they have this incredible story, because they do have an incredible story. They're great people, but because living out here, you just don't have access to so much of the quantity and quality of antiques. You do, like I'm from Chicago, so there's no shortage of it there, and on the East Coast, it's just harder to get it out here.
Yeah,
so
it is.
That's why we kind of go through all the extra effort we do to shop all over the country and bring stuff here.
Yeah, and that is why curated pieces in Arizona cost more. I know I get comments about that, but it's because we don't have a lot of stores. Like, we really don't. You guys are truly, there's maybe not even a handful.
Yeah.
There's really hardly any. But I also wanted to ask you about these.
So Bev has had these prints for a while. They were rolled up in our design room, and I think she had purchased them in Long Beach. And we weren't quite sure what we wanted to do with them, or how. We knew we were going to frame them, but I kind of thought we should go more masculine, a little bit darker. I can see how great would this look in an office, family room.
I love it next to, or like in front of, like it feels kind of more sleek, but having it next to these old doors, I think really, I don't know, I find it really beautiful.
It's a fun juxtaposition of
the styles
and eras.
Yeah.
Texture. Yeah. I'm really happy with how the framing turned out. They did a great job, and it's actually a dark brown compared to
my
gray
favorite.
Matte. Like, I don't need certain things black and white. This needed something different, especially with the kind of just how the paper's worn and discolored over time.
Yeah.
I didn't want that contrast of black and white. It needed to be
softer,
brown, gray, blue family. So.
Yeah, I like that actually. I sometimes find black to be a little too stark, a little too jarring, especially black and white next to each other. Like, I like it, but I like almost that. And I call this on my channel all the time. I say this is like that dark brown, almost black, because it just softens it in the most subtle way, but it really makes the biggest difference.
It felt a lot more It's just more deliberate and thoughtful sometimes to not do just a black frame and a white mat.
Yeah, it's thinking like
it's called for in photography a lot. There's certain fields where it's like you don't want the frame, you want the photo or the art piece to really be the story, but I thought this needed to, because of how clean and minimal, it allowed me to kind of add some more warmth and elements to it. And it kind of feels a little older. You could see, I know you looked at other art in the store.
Yeah.
A lot of the art has like old kind of walnut
frames. Yeah, that's true.
So it brings in that element too, that even though it's a new custom framing, it is an old piece. So now the whole thing feels more connected.
Yeah, smart thinking.
Right, it's the elements that attract you to the antiques. Trying to recreate some of that.
Yeah, and you don't have to reinvent the wheel.
50 years. Oh, love the print, but also the frame will have that interest. I think about most of the art that we collect. I love the old dark wood frames, gold frame, like the gilded and the dark.
I do love a gilded.
Always very drawn to that. So just trying to replicate a little.
Yeah, I think it's smart.
These are, and we only have 2 left, so if you want them, these are the 2 that I have right now. These are chairs from a public park in Paris.
What? How cool!
I know. They have their old little stamp on here.
Those are, how cool. That again is one of my favorite things about you specifically, is you have so much knowledge behind all these pieces, and it makes me feel more confident when I buy things, because I get to learn a little bit about the story, and that's not always the case.
Yeah.
When I'm out junking, I don't know the story, but it's really cool when you're investing in such specific pieces. You get to kind of tell that story in your home. Mm-hmm. So that's so cool. Like, how do they get chairs from a park?
We had a whole set. I don't know. So I bought some for a client. We did this great dining table. It was a bluestone, very similar to the floor that you're on right now, and it just paired really well because it had more of an old bronze kind of base. Again, it's hard to find really unique outdoor elements, especially here. It has to hold up.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be another piece that she has to worry about, like it can be out in the rain. That's what it was made for. So, and it can, survive the sun. So.
And Paris gets rain, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, how cool are these? I love, they almost look like an old radiator kind of vibe,
Yeah.
I love that.
They
Super
had a
cool.
set of these it was the same chair, but in this really fun, vibrant green, like a minty green. And we bought a set of 4 of those and put it around the client's. She has a table on her tennis court, and they just pop,
cute.
And they look so fun out there.
Oh my
just 'cause
gosh.
they're a little more whimsical. But the brown ones paired great with the bluestone table.
And brown is so in right now.
Yeah, we have a lot of cool pots. I love these old tables. A set of those together. They are solid old wood. They're used for molds in factories a lot. Like if you ever see really big wood pieces like this, especially round, and they have different notches and grooves in them, a lot of times they were used as molds.
Interesting.
So they've clustered together like a set of tables, and super old, dense wood. So they could be out here in Phoenix, or they could be outside or inside.
Yeah, those are really cool. And you always have the best, one, mossy pots, but also the old French flower pots. I just adore these.
Yeah, they're pitch pots.
Oh, pitch pots.
Called. Yeah. Because as you can see, they still have the old sap.
Yeah.
So
I always wondered what was in there.
Yeah, it's like a resin, it's kind of sap
Okay.
buildup, but if you like the really rusty
kind of
layered, very textural and earthy look, these are great. Pop a little plant in there. Done.
And then these are so hard to find here in Phoenix, the pots.
These are great because if you, we just have plants dropped in them, but if you actually plant your plant in there. If it's really in the dirt, with the moisture, it will continue to grow moss.
Yeah.
So
oh, that's so cute.
It's not a paint job.
No,
it
no.
It really will.
It's really mossy. And you have this massive one down here. I need these. Like a kumquat tree in this. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, really beautiful.
You sell these all the time.
Especially if you have more of a lot of homes in the neighborhood now are more just kind of black and white.
Yeah.
This is a great way to warm it up and just bring the curb appeal of your house, adding some layers there.
And a good way to add color, I think, because I don't have a ton of color in my home, but green is like still a neutral, but
a very muted terracotta.
Yeah.
And they all kind of have some variation. You can see the one on your left there is more of
like the
darker orangey red. These are a little more of like a bit of a lime wash to them. So
true.
And as you plant and then they will change.
I love these.
So it's kind of another example of something we put together. We got these great thin marble tops.
Oh, these are the ones
that are back in stock finally, yeah. But I had found this old coffee table height, mid-century, like the tulip table.
Oh, cute, yeah.
Real, and it's metal. Has this great stamp on the inside. It's made in the U.S. mid-century, but popping a tabletop on this, something that would seem very mid-century, I think works well.
Yeah, and like what a great
with
idea.
The antiques.
Oh yeah,
But yeah, putting together table bases and tops, or we always joke that we're always missing one or the other, you know.
Yeah, actually that's so true.
I have a great piece of stone, now I just need to find the base, and vice versa. But
no, I think that's brilliant.
Was waiting in the back for about 1.5 years until I got right, because I couldn't put too heavy of a piece of stone on it, so I had to wait until the thin ones came back.
So when you find something, just hold on to it.
Hold on to it for a little while.
Yeah, because you never know. And reimagine it, because I'm sure that wasn't a coffee table before. I love this like hutch piece. Do you know the story behind this one? This is probably, is it not for sale?
It is for sale.
Oh, okay.
Please don't buy it.
Sorry.
It was an old, I believe it says on here, I think it was in a pharmacy.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah, it's a Pacific Brand Showcase, Made in America, Spokane, Washington. But it was in a pharmacy, I believe, originally.
I love these sort of pieces.
It has all the old little drawers.
I love all the drawers.
It came with glass shelves, and one morning we came in and one of the shelves had broken.
Oh!
Everything on the floor. So Beth and I went to Porter, Barnwood, which is a great place to go if you're working on any projects or you want.
Oh, is that here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's downtown. And we got, this is old tobacco wood.
Wow.
Loved the color, and I liked, we had this one already, and then we went and got the second one because I put it in there, and we're like, oh, I love this way more with
the wood.
With this warmer tone shelf in there. And it's more stable, but it also brings in, like, I love the detail.
Oh yeah.
Wood, like.
Oh yes. So like so much
nope,
texture.
Don't clean it up. Leave it exactly how it is. Just cut it to length and put it in there.
See, you guys you get me, and I get you. This is my favorite kind of print, like that tonal. It just is so sophisticated to me.
I love that. Yeah. We got, and this is again one we purchased as is, but this other one on the sofa you'd like too, very tonal.
I love a tonal, yes.
It's a good way to bring a nice softer feminine touch without, doesn't have to be girly in a traditional kind of way that you think about it. Same with this one, really muted. I love this kind of
this one's so pretty.
Watercolor.
Yeah.
Very muted blues, browns, grays.
Yeah, this is a good, well, I think any season.
Warm it up or cool it down. Or anything like that. So it's.
That is so.
This print.
I love that print. Actually, that's one of my favorites that you have in here, and I love it mixed with this Yeah, the hemp texture. Oh, so good. And I was just saying, you have Rose Tarlow. She's my favorite.
So they just re-released her book.
The Private House.
Stock it right away. Yeah. It was out of print for a long time, but they just...
restocked it.
Yeah, republished it.
Or republished it. It's so good. She's just incredible. I love her. And this,
love that book. We've sold through, but we keep restocking it.
It's that linen, such a good like decor book too.
Large scale, neutral color linen, so really pretty to decorate with. It's a good scale, and especially if you're someone who likes a little more of that tonal, monochromatic. Stacking a book like this with some of those on the coffee table over there.
Yeah.
Achieve that effect, and then you can kind of keep it a little more minimal, just 2 of those books and a dish or candlestick or something, just kind of keep it less, if you're not into a lot of pieces.
Mm-hmm, because they're so substantial. These are, I have a few, I forget like I don't know if it's the same book, but I have a few of these and they're my favorite. They're so good.
There's another one called Rural Retreats that I love.
Ooh, okay.
We, again, sold out through. But I think a great way to display them is these lucite book stands that are really cool. They come in black or clear. But I think your books should be open and out. You didn't just buy them to stack them on your coffee table and never look at them. You know, again, kind of bringing function to your form.
Yes.
And getting ideas and having them open, and they're, especially these large scale books are, you know, use it like a piece of art.
Yeah. Like, especially on like a coffee table or even an entry where you might have guests come in, I think it's smart to have.
Great.
Yeah.
It just pulls people in, and it's good for you to look through too, and
otherwise you might not open your books either, you know, like having them open and kind of ready to go.
Yeah.
You might be sitting there eating your lunch at your coffee table and you can kind of flip through.
They need to be living and breathing.
Yes. Smart. I don't have that. I need that.
Yeah. The mirror is late 1800s French, old silver-backed mirror. You can see where it's kind of flaking and
it's so good.
Worn over time. It is. We had to have it kind of reinforced in the back.
Oh, was it
because of its weight?
Oh,
it's old. It's like an inch thick.
Oh, wow.
But it has this gray frame around it that I love.
And like even down here.
Black and gold frames. I'm a sucker for black and gold
yes.
frames, but little bits worn off here and there. It's just, it's beautiful.
It's so good.
A quality.
And these.
Piece. But then you kind of have a good juxtaposition, right? You pair it with these old industrial hinged lights, and they've been rewired. So
I love these so much.
They're up to speed, and
I just love
and
like.
You got a table. Didn't you get?
Yeah,
a table we had that was kind of similar style to this. Yeah.
And I should have asked you the story, but I think it was like an old French work table.
A lot of these were old tables, and you can see even where like old clamps used to be on them.
Oh yeah.
And these are solid.
Oh.
Solid.
Yeah.
Thick old tables with reinforced with bars through them. So
mine
they're not going to go anywhere.
No, mine was a splurge for me, but it's still to this day my most asked about piece and my most favorite piece. I will have that piece for the rest of my life, and it's very similar. Sorry, we're in his work area. I'm kind of in your bubble.
There's just
totally.
Past all of the
but I loved these lights, but
sorted. Yeah.
Eventually I'm going to turn mine into like a little mini bar in a living room. That's like
perfect.
What I originally envisioned, but my space is too small, so it's my desk right now.
Great.
I have
which is good to show. Move around pieces in your. I always tell clients before we start a project, like, we're going to shop your house.
Yeah, smart.
Move stuff around, see what you like, what you want to keep, and then go from there.
Yeah, but I love, and these would be so pretty on my desk. I love these so much. Or over a bar, like to illuminate, or even if you had like a bust underneath, and it just
you could even probably mount it to the wall. This great piece there.
Yeah.
You know, putting it on the wall and angling it out, I think could be really cool.
Oh, I love, see, to me, this is
Turning it
like,
into the sconce.
yes, it's like this to me is very masculine.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that. And then if you put some like cut crystal underneath and just kind of like balance it
from the bar over there.
Yeah.
Plate and right here. Yeah.
Oh, so
this would
good.
be great as a bar. That's a really good idea.
Yeah. Well, that was like always what I thought. I was like one day, or a console, but like really my very first, I was like, oh, I want to do like a silver, like a beautiful silver, kind of more feminine piece with like lots of, I have a tray like with feet and like claw feet and stuff, and then like a bar.
Perfect.
You know, that kind of thing. But anyway, this piece, I actually, you guys have had this for a little while, haven't you?
Which one?
This one, or is it new?
No, this one we bought last fall.
Okay, because I remember you got, the last time I came in is right when you got this piece. I still love this. This would, I mean, you have it as a bar, but as an at-home bar with like liquor bottles and stuff, oh my gosh.
If I was building a house right now, I would build this into my kitchen or butler's pantry instead of all new cabinets everywhere. Build this in.
Yeah.
I think is the way to go.
Adding
it's
that,
great
like,
as a standalone, but as just a way to, again, make your home and your design stand out a little bit. I would incorporate this within my kitchen and butler's pantry.
Yeah, and then you could add like your napkin rings and your linens and your extra little pieces down here, or whatever, really, your silverware, your serveware. I love this piece.
And I love the old brass hardware on it.
And it's so big.
Uh-huh.
I love that.
Yeah, just to replace that hardware would be expensive.
I know, but you can't find pieces like this. You really, like, they're really, really hard to find. These old.
And a lot of our clients, they really like very pared down antiques. Mm-hmm. Not minimal to no carving or, heavy tones. They kind of like that more Belgian style. A lot of bleached out.
I love a bleached out.
Stripped down, and things that are not too ornate.
Yeah.
So that's like a perfect example of.
Someone come buy this.
Antique, yeah.
Or don't.
Similar to like this table.
Yes.
Too. Like minimal, really lovely.
Mm-hmm. And the casters are so sweet.
Oh yeah.
I love casters. From Willows, and my cup is literally overflowing with inspiration. Anytime I ever go into Willows, I always leave super inspired and eager to get home and decorate and see decor and my home in a different way, and just different things down to the bed pillows or different ideas on how to use things. And one of my favorite things about Willows is the way that they think outside of the box and the way they style with different items. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. It was a little bit different. Normally I walk you through and kind of talk you through ways I would use items and decorate them, and we go over prices and this and that. But as Billy was telling me about some of the items in the store when the camera was off, I just thought he is such a wealth of knowledge with these items, and it just was really cool to see such a high-end store have so much knowledge and care behind the products that they bring in the merchandise. I felt like it would be better to just get some footage of him explaining things. So I hope that you guys enjoyed that and found some inspiration through him and the store and how they do things. I absolutely love Willows. It is hands down my favorite store in the Valley. I absolutely love them. Now, as I mentioned, it is more of a high-end store. However, if you live in the area, if you are visiting Phoenix, It is absolutely worth going to. They are so kind in there. And like I said, they show you different ways and talk about different ways on how to use things and share some of their styling and decor knowledge. And also just going in there, you're gonna leave feeling super inspired. I love it in there. I love it in there. So if you're visiting or you live here, definitely go in, let them know that you found them through me. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know down in the comments which item was your favorite, and I will see you guys in a couple days with another. Bye.
I would say we were good together.